Hello, my name is Andrew Klager, and I'm going to be reading Mother to Son by Langston Hughes. The poem is about 20 lines. I'm going to be reading them in 5 different groups, starting with the title, then going with lines 1 through 7, lines 8 through 13, lines 14 through 17, and then finally lines 18 through 20. Since the poem is called Mother to Son, and it was written by Langston Hughes, who was known for writing about the Black experience in America, I imagine that the poem is about an African American mother giving her son something or talking to him about something. Well, son, I'll tell you, life for me ain't been no crystal stair. It's had tacks in it, and splinters, and boards torn up, and places with no carpet on the floor, bare. In these lines I can see that she is talking about her son, and it sounds like he might have been trying to ask her something. She says rather than life being a crystal staircase, hers has been pretty horrible with tacks and splinters and no carpet. I've seen old houses with floors like this before, and it looks old and unsafe. I wonder why Hughes uses such plain language like ain't been no instead of hasn't been any. Is it to help the reader understand, or is it just the way the mother talks? I don't know. Also, if life is equal to staircases, then a crystal staircase might be the good life, and what she has instead is the bad life of splinters and tacks. Also, if the floor is bare and the stairs are a metaphor for life, then I guess that means her life is also bare. So I would have to ask why. Possibly due to forces beyond her control, or something along those lines. And so what? Well, if it's beyond her control, then how does she end up with this barren life that cannot meet her needs? And why is she telling her son all of this? Let's keep reading. But all the time I's been a climbin' on, and reachin' landin's, and turnin' corners, and sometimes goin' in the dark where there ain't been no light. So here, but implies in spite of everything that was just said, the mother is still climbing the staircases even if it's dark. I don't really know what landings are, so I'll have to look it up on Google Images. So then, this is a story about persevering even in the face of obstacles. And what does she mean by going in the dark? If the stairs are a metaphor for life, then the darkness of the stairs are a metaphor for what? Maybe it is a metaphor for new experiences that are something like that we don't understand, something that we are in the dark about. Maybe like attending a new school. It's nerve-wracking because we don't know how it will turn out. The language is very different than the language found in typical poetry. So then why would that be? Maybe it's to move away from the uppity language that poetry is typically associated with and speak more to the common person with words of wisdom about perseverance that a normal person can understand. Let's see what the next lines say. So, boy, don't you turn your back. Don't you sit down on the steps, 'cause you find it's kinder hard. Don't you fall now. Let's see. So she is talking specifically to her son, but also the reader. Her son is sitting down, which is what I assume set down means. He's sitting on the steps because climbing is too difficult. Again, if life is like stairs, then to move along those stairs is to live. To stop moving is to not live then. So it seems as though the mother is telling her son that just because life is difficult, it's still worth living. So I wonder if the mother and the son walk along the same staircase. I would assume so because he seems to face the same struggles as his mom, but he just doesn't have the same strength as she does. Oh, so okay, so that's why she has to tell him all of this. Yeah, I've worked with young people, so yeah, they tend to give up if they think something's too hard. So for the last lines 18 through 20, for I's still going, honey, I's still climbing, and life for me ain't been no crystal stair. So the mom, even with all her hardships, continues up this staircase called life, even if it is difficult. So then I'd have to ask, why did Hughes write this poem? It sounds like the mom saying, if I can keep going, you can keep going. So I guess Hughes wrote this to tell people who are giving up not to give up, because giving up is the same as not living. It's the same as dying. So I guess the overall message here is to persevere even if you feel like it's impossible to do so.